The air grew thick, heavy with salt and the taste of secrets untold. This was it, the place from the old maps, the lighthouse perched on the world's edge. Daniel felt the ground shudder as another wave, a liquid mountain, threw itself against the cliffs below. The fog was a living thing, coiling around the stone tower, swallowing its light and leaving only a pale, ghostly glow. Long, distorted shadows danced in the mist, playing tricks on the eyes. It stood there, isolated and defiant, a solitary sentinel against the raging sea. As he took his first step towards the heavy oak door, he couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't just arriving. He was being summoned. What secrets were waiting inside? We're about to find out. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. The old lighthouse keeper Daniel always said the night had eyes. He'd sit there, watching the beam cut through the inky blackness, a solitary guardian against the churning sea. But tonight was different. As the light swept across the jagged cliffs, something caught his eye. A shadow. Not just any shadow, but one that moved with a life of its own. It darted and flowed over the rocks, a patch of pure darkness where there should have been none. He'd stare, trying to fix its form, but the moment his gaze settled, it would vanish. Gone. He'd blink, thinking it was just tired eyes playing tricks. But then, in the corner of his vision, he'd see it again, slithering just out of direct sight. The wind howled, but another sound joined it, a faint, rhythmic scratching from the base of the tower. He was no longer alone. Stay tuned for Part 2. The salt spray stung my face as I unlocked the lighthouse door for the first time. It felt like coming home, a solitary peace I'd craved for years. The previous keeper had left in a hurry, or so I was told. Tucked away in a dusty drawer, I found his journal. The pages were filled with mundane entries. Weather reports, supply lists, bird sightings. But the very last entry, scrawled in a frantic hand, sent a shiver down my spine. It simply sighed. It simply sighed. He watches from the fog and waits for the light to find you. That night, a thick, unnatural fog rolled in from the sea, blanketing the island. And as I lit the great lamp, casting its beam into the swirling gray, I could swear I saw something move out there in the mist, something just beyond the reach of the light, something that was waiting. Don't forget to follow for more. The salt-laced wind howls around the old lighthouse, a lonely sentinel against the churning sea. For decades, it's been dark, abandoned, a relic of a forgotten time. Tonight, I find myself inside its hollow shell, the air thick with the dust of years and the ghosts of keepers long gone. The spiral staircase groans under my weight as I climb, each step echoing into the oppressive darkness above. Suddenly, a sound slices through the silence, deep and resonant. Bong. My heart leaps into my throat. It's the ancient brass bell, coated in a century of grime and rust. Bong. Impossibly, the mechanism seized up years ago. It hasn't worked in living memory. Bong. The vibrations shudder through the stone floor, a cold dread seeping into my bones. Bong. 4 chimes. The bell falls silent, leaving only the sound of my ragged breath and a question hanging in the dark. Who or what is signaling from this dead lighthouse? Evan always loved the ocean view from his bedroom window, the sound of the waves, the salty air, the endless blue horizon. It was his sanctuary. But tonight, something was wrong. The familiar rhythm of the crashing waves was gone, replaced by a profound, unsettling silence. He felt a tremor run through the floorboards, a low hum that vibrated in his chest. Heart pounding, he slowly pulled himself out of bed and crept towards the window, his hand trembling as he reached for the curtain. He pulled it aside, and his breath caught in his throat. The ocean was gone. In its place was an infinite blackness, a void so deep it seemed to swallow the moonlight, and in that void, suspended in the silent darkness, were eyes, hundreds of them, thousands, all staring, unblinking, right at him. They weren't angry or hateful, just watching, waiting. And Evan knew, with a certainty that chilled him to the bone, that his world would never be the same. The scene begins with a close-up on a character's shocked face, then pans to Grayson, whose form is starting to shimmer and break apart. No? Grayson, what's happening to you? Your hands? They're turning to dust. Is this some kind of magic? A curse. We have to stop it. Grayson looks down at his own fading hands, a sad, peaceful smile on his face. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to stop. This was always meant to be. I haven't been completely honest with you. The truth is, I died a long time ago, in the last Great War. This form, you see, this is just an echo, bound by an ancient oath to watch over this place, to guide those who were worthy. My time is finally over. The oath is fulfilled, and I can finally rest. Thank you for setting me free. Don't mourn for me. My long watch has ended. Grayson dissolves completely into a swirl of glowing particles that drift up into the sky. The roar of the waves was my only companion, or so I thought. I remember the salty air whipping my face as I stood at the base of the old lighthouse. I was Evan then. Why men run in from his past. But something was waiting for me here, something ancient and hungry. It wasn't in the sea or on the rocks. It was in the shadows themselves. A void, a swirling vortex of absolute nothingness, began to seep from the cracks in the lighthouse walls. It didn't just move, it hunted. I tried to run, my feet sinking into the wet sand, but it was too fast. A guttural scream tore from my throat as the cold, suffocating darkness enveloped me. It felt like being ripped apart and put back together all at once. And in that terrifying moment, I wasn't Evan anymore. I was the lighthouse's new keeper, its prisoner, bound to this light forever. Stay tuned to find out what happens next. And don't forget to subscribe. The old lighthouse on Blackwood Point has stood silent for a century, its light long extinguished. But this morning, as the first rays of dawn painted the sky, the locals saw it, a blinding, unnatural glow pulsing from the lamp room. No one's been inside for years, not since the last keeper vanished without a trace. They say he went mad, obsessed with the legend of the 4 bells. 3 had rung on the night he disappeared. Now, whispers are spreading through the town. Someone, or something, is in the lighthouse. A tall, gaunt figure was seen silhouetted against the brilliant light. And then, a sound drifted across the water. A deep, resonant chime that chilled everyone to the bone. The 4th bell has begun to ring. What does it signal? And what has answered its call? Follow for more tales from the edge of reality.